Is Among Us about to make a comeback? Well, if you are in the VR community, I think it might be. We might start seeing the word sus in every YouTube comment thread, every Reddit thread again, because Among Us VR is launching, well, today when this video goes up. And I've been getting to play it pre-release with some of your favorite YouTubers.
Well, I'm alone with Nate.
Dude, this
crap.
sucks.
Oh crap.
What? No! Don't do it!
You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you, because I'm a ghost.
Wait, how can you? Oh!
If you're an imposter, why did you run away? Like, what were you doing? Why did you separate? It was suspicious.
Oh, he's trying to vent. That's not a vent.
The vent's over
That's
here,
a screen.
Matt. This is...
I know, I'm trying to do It's over here.
I've got to say, first and foremost, impressions, that was some of the most fun I've had in VR in quite a long time. That could have been attributed to the other YouTubers I was playing with, how the game flow was going, but let's break it down a little further. So Among Us just launched. $10 is what it's gonna cost you. It's on Quest, it's on PC, not on PSVR as of yet. There is another $4 you can pay for the hat cosmetic pack that's supposed to be launching, so you can get all kinds of fun hats to put on your character, which does put this a lot more expensive than it used to be on PC for $5 or on Android or iOS for free, and then of course you could buy cosmetics and things. It's obvious when you get into the game, first thing, they've rebuilt the whole thing for VR, which makes sense. It was third person, how could they have not? From the way you use your hands to the mechanics of how you move, how you play the game, it feels almost like there's a VRChat version, a Rec Room version of these. It feels like a way better version of either of those. And the VRChat one was pretty good. So I've got to say, Among Us obviously knew what they were doing, and in making it VR, they didn't fall into some of those pitfalls that a lot of other companies do, where they take a flat game, try to make it VR, and it falls on its face. Now, I was playing pre-release, so there is a couple of issues I want to bring up that may get ironed out immediately. It was a little glitchy in spots. One time I tried to walk out of my play space, that just instantly booted me from the game, which really sucks because the way we were playing it pre-release is you had a code to join a room. It took you into the room with all the other people, and then once the host hit start game, no one else could join the room. So in me being kicked out, I had to sit there and keep trying to rejoin that code with the right timing until they were back in the lobby and it was open again just for a second, and I snuck my way back in and got back into play. There's all kinds of tasks, of course, just like you're used to in the game, but instead of holding a single button, they've done more to make them interactive in VR. There's one where you walk up, you've got to press, you got the sticky note here and 4 buttons. A lot of it, you have your big hands. They made really oversized buttons to do it, but you type it in to press the code, or you walk up to another area and you have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the numbers are in different spots. The tasks feel really good, actually. They are really fun, and it really feels like you're inside of the world of Among Us. But there's some tasks that are still finicky. There's Simon Says, and when you're trying to do that, it'd go doot, doot, doot. And if you held onto the button for too long, it like registered as 2 hits, or if you try to tap it, you can see it kept messing up on me. So I learned how to like really quickly tap the buttons and get it to actually work that way. That was probably the worst thing. But when you're steering the ship, you take the actual steering wheel and you turn and plot its little course on there. Tasks are really fun, but I think what's the most fun about the game that is really different than how it felt on mobile, now the threat of getting killed feels very visceral.
Oh God, someone's gonna come up and kill me right now.
You are no longer seeing a third-person perspective and seeing someone wander around the room and wondering if they're gonna come up and stab you. You are facing your task and you can't see around you. You're completely immersed, and you hear someone walking around back there. You just know, I was like looking over my shoulder as I was trying to do my tasks. I was like, every time I heard someone or saw someone around, I was like, I'm gonna get killed while I'm trying to do this task right now. It's not a horror game by any means, but it adds this tense element to it that makes it really fun, which I really liked about that. It is a VR game. So this is not, you know, oh, I'm at the dentist office waiting for an appointment, I'm just gonna jump into a round of Among Us. You gotta fully get in VR, and as far as we know, there is no crossplay yet with Flat. This is only gonna be VR players or the Flat players who are playing on phone, playing with other people on phone or PC. That said, with the price of $10, it begs the question, will enough people get into this to have that user base? Because actual Among Us, although people say it peaked in 2020, still has quite a bit of active monthly users, and a lot of people still really enjoy Among Us. Among Us VR, we've got this $10 price tag, which if people are used to playing it for free, that might rub them the wrong way. We've got all different regions of the world, so time zones, of course, are gonna be a factor, and hopefully, a lot of people still interested in Among Us itself because it did peak in popularity a couple years ago. What should you do? Should you get Among Us and get to enjoy it all over again in a whole new way? Should you stick to the one in VRChat because it works really well? Should you stick to it even in Rec Room? I have the game already. I was given the code, so I own it. If I didn't, I absolutely would have bought this day one because games like this, multiplayer games, always on day one, I feel like are the most fun. So many people are in it, everybody's learning it together, figuring it out together, and you just have a blast. And a point that Nathan brought up when we were talking, it won't be long before people are in this game and have found their friend groups or found their discords and they play together, and the people who are left in the general lobbies probably aren't the people that are going to be the most fun to play it with. This game is trying to get to an older age group. It puts a birthday check first thing when you try to get in, but what good does that do? So yeah, in a couple months time, if you're going into just a random lobby to play, you might need to stick to quick chat so you don't have to hear kids screaming in your ear. So if you're on the fence, it's day one. I would say if you're thinking about it, $10 is affordable, just get it. Enjoy it now. Find those friends that you're gonna wanna continue playing this every Friday night. I know I am gonna be playing a lot of this myself because it brings back all the magic of not only Among Us, but the love of playing VR, which always gets me excited. So what do you think? The game is out today. Are you gonna pay $10 or are you gonna just keep playing it on your phone? Do you even remember Among Us at this point, or is it dead to you? It's dead to a lot of the world apparently, but I am hoping to see a resurgence, at least in VR, because they did a good job. There are still some bugs, but there's gonna be some release day patches, hopefully, that are gonna start to iron that out quickly. And there is just something really fun about feeling like you're in that world after all this time when we were all playing it so much. But I wanna hear your opinions in the comments. If you got it, tell me what you're thinking so far. If you aren't getting it, tell me why. I'd love to know. I wanna say thank you for coming out, and I will see you in another reality.